Here, let me see if I have it in the white and let me see if I had it on the blacklist on here. Let me see if I can remove that shit.
Apparently I'm streaming to YouTube now. Apparently I got OBS set up.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
I was thinking
Integrate.
about-
No, it was what was it again?
I was gonna stream New Vegas.
Yeah, turn up my video. There you go. I know how that feels. I know how that feels, Peter Parker.
It made the fill picture of my banner the fucking thumbnail for my stream.
Nice. All right, I just removed the R word from there. There you go. There we go. Now people can use it freely in here. Look out. Here comes some shitty game. I gotta remove it off YouTube too. Takes a piss like a drunken horse, climbs a wall, then he falls. This game sucks his spider balls. Oh no, playing the shitty game. When he plays his games, he feels so ashamed. He shoots webs from his wrist, but now Spider-Man. A frozen turd. Are such a great big fuck up. They make you wanna throw up all over Spider-Man. That was probably one of my favorite episodes. I think the Bugs Bunny's birthday blowout is my favorite.
Shits on Bugs Bunny.
Yeah, the one where he shits on Bugs Bunny. Oh boy. Let's see what's going on in my
War. War never changes. When atomic fire consumed the Earth, those who survived did so in great underground vaults. When they opened, their inhabitants set out across the ruins of the old world to build
Y'all mind if I play another one for the
establishing
background?
villages, forming tribes.
Yeah, I just hope YouTube doesn't slam my ass for it.
As decades passed,
Oh,
the
okay, you're
American
streaming right now.
Southwest
I gotcha.
united beneath the flag of the new
I don't think it's
California
loud enough to pick it up.
dedicated to old world values.
I turned my volume up on
and
here.
the rule of law. As the Republic grew,
Is there?
so did
Where's
its
that?
needs.
Well,
Scouts
Fuck it,
spread
I'll
the
take
well, I kind of want to watch
seeking
want
territory and
to watch
wealth
something
in the
else,
dry
but
and
and what
merciless
I'm gonna play is
expanse of the
probably
Mojave
not gonna
Desert.
get you a copyright thing because
They returned with
it's-
tales
yeah,
of a city
yeah.
untouched by the warheads that had scorched the rest of the world, and a great wall spanning the Colorado River.
I'm sick and tired of being tormented by
the NCR mobilized its army and sent it east to occupy Hoover Dam and restore it to working condition.
If this isn't the CEO giving you a pay
Across
raise,
the Colorado, another society had arisen under a different flag. A vast army of slaves forged from the conquest of 86 tribes, Caesar's Legion. 4 years have passed since the Republic held the dam, just barely, against the Legion's onslaught. The Legion did not retreat. Across the river, it gathers strength. Campfires burn, training drums beat. Through it all, the New Vegas Strip has stayed open for business, under the control of its mysterious overseer, Mr. House, and his army of rehabilitated tribals and police robots. You are a courier.
Oh, Rec, if you don't mind me ask.
To
Actually, no, never mind.
Vegas Strip.
I can't ask because. Here, I'll just
What
DM
seemed like
you.
a simple delivery job has taken a turn for the worse.
I don't want to do it while he's streaming.
You got what you were after, so pay up.
I have no clue what you're
Crying
talking
in the
about.
rain, Pally.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, I
This is
didn't want
waking
to.
up over here.
It was something I was gonna. It's a casual thing I was gonna ask, but I don't want to do it while he's streaming.
Time to cash out.
Will you get it over with?
Maybe cons kill people without looking them in the face.
Nobody's streaming
I
though.
gotta think. Dig.
Sheriff
I'm
is.
streaming on fucking YouTube. I'm not sure.
Oh, on
This is-
YouTube. Oh,
Maybe
okay. I
last
didn't know you were on YouTube.
Yeah. Yeah, I figured
Sorry
I
you got twisted up in this scene.
Kind of want to capture this one.
From where you're kneeling must seem like an 18-carat run of bad luck.
Oh, hi YouTube world.
Truth is-
I didn't realize it.
The game was rigged from the start.
BBC in the half.
Okay, that makes sense now. That's going to be interesting watching back. I'm going to be like, oh, I'm a fucking idiot. Oh, I sweared. Oh no.
Cringe.
It's not like I've sweared 1,000 times on YouTube.
I swear in like all my videos.
Fuck.
Yeah, I don't swear my main content. It's just the streams I do with them because I age restrict them so that my dad's like, no bad words. Even though I don't care what he says, let's say at this point.
How about your
But,
name?
you know.
Can you tell me your name?
Hey, Woden. Oh man, let me type in that word. I gotta type in that sheriff's live because he's live streaming right now while in here.
Yeah, say live on YouTube. That way, everybody knows. Because I didn't know.
Yeah, I'll type that right here.
What
Brother
I'd
or something.
pick for you, but if that's your
Reporting
name, that's
everybody
your
on
name.
fucking YouTube.
I'm Doc Mitchell. Welcome to Goodsprings.
There we go.
Now, I hope you don't mind.
I want you rather
I had to
sweet
go rooting
leaf.
around there in your noggin to pull all the bits of lead out. I take pride in my needlework, but you'd better tell me if I left
So is it
anything
working?
out of place.
Does anyone know if my stream's working? Because I don't. I can't monitor
How'd I do?
monitor it and play at the same time.
What's your channel name?
Sheriff Walters.
Here, I'm hang on, I'm sub to him.
With a space or is it together?
Space.
Oh shit! Look, I see him like on my top of my feed. There we go. Let me go to it.
Mainly, I just want to know if y'all can hear it. 'cause-
Yeah, the stream's working.
Oh.
You're good.
I just chatted.
Sheriff Walter's death. What the fuck?
What?
That was weird. Yeah, it's working.
Thank you.
Yeah, the
Here, I'm
stream's working.
gonna mute
And
myself.
I just subscribed.
Just chatted.
Thanks for the
Sheriff Walter's
subscribe,
death.
Rick.
What the fuck?
What?
Guys, if you could tip to help pay my back taxes, that really help. I need the help right now. I need that money. I really, really do. I need that money.
I need the money. I have internet bills. I have double mortgage. Jasper needs food.
Got a double mortgage because I'm a dumbass.
Any money to buy some more handheld treats?
And some more turkey pepperonis.
Oh God.
There's a very strong possibility that Nintendo's going to drop a trailer for the Nintendo Switch 2 this Thursday.
Oh shit.
Let's see.
Well, CES already fucking leaked it, right?
Yay.
Yeah, I mean, we all know what it's going to look like at this point, so it's not like it's a big surprise.
Yay, I'm so excited. Yay.
Over by that bigger tester machine. Take it slow.
Dude,
now.
how stupid can you be? That fucking company that was at CES. Dude, Nintendo went through the trouble to fly lawyers out there to go into that booth or that building or that convention, whatever the fuck, and told them to quit the fuck what they're doing.
Wow. Oh, stupid.
Fuck perception. I don't need perception.
I mean, granted, it was like a 3D mock-up, and it wasn't like the actual system, but they were showing like accessory cases and shit that they made for it. And what's funny is like Genki didn't sign like an NDA or a contract with Nintendo to make these accessories. So technically, they didn't have to shut down their booth at CES, but the smart move is to go ahead and do it anyway, because if they didn't, Nintendo would have fucking stuck a katana up their ass probably.
Yeah, that looks good.
Huh.
Yeah, it did look
Must
pretty
be some
good.
frontal damage.
Probably
Well,
looked pretty
you know,
good.
your vitals. are
Yeah.
good. But that don't mean them bullets didn't leave you nuttered in a bighorn and drop.
Made me hard.
What do you say you take a seat in my couch and we go through a couple of questions? See if your dogs are still barking.
I'll sub to you when I get on my old laptop.
Appreciate it, BBC.
Yeah, I would have subscribed sooner, but I
I'm gonna say
don't know. I don't ever
want
think,
you to
oh,
say
let me
the first
search
thing
everybody's
that comes to mind.
username
Dog.
to add everybody.
No worries.
House.
You can ask Cosmic. YouTube kind of makes it hard to find me to begin with.
Bandit. Light.
They really do
Right
make
away,
it
actually.
hard.
Mother.
Oddly enough, it's weird that I made
Now,
my
I got a
debut
few
on his
staples.
channel as
I want you
Dio.
to tell me how much they sound like something you'd say.
Oh yeah, that's
First
right.
one.
Your
Conflict
debut
just
on my
ain't in my
fucking
nature.
OBS streaming career is fucking Dio.
Cuddle
I
Dio
ain't
guy.
given to
You know what's weird is back when I used to watch anime, back in like from like the early '90s to like early mid
charge
2000s,
in.
somewhere right up around there. Then I just completely
Almost
stopped
done here.
watching altogether because I just don't like a whole lot of it.
Okay.
I never did watch JoJo, and I know JoJo's been around for a long
Wow.
time. I think the first time I tried to get into it,
Well, that's all.
I
she
was
wrote.
like, this is really
Don't
fucking
have
lame. It
nothing
just
to
reminds me of
compare
like
to, so
Fist
maybe
of the
you better
North
just
Star,
have a
but
look at the
it doesn't
results.
have Kenshiro
See
in
if
it.
it all seems right.
And Fist of the North Star is better.
I don't know why my dad is almost in the same boat. Like my dad was trying to give JoJo more of a shot, but like I guess he seems to get bored of it too. So
Like I said, I've been out of touch with anime though for like a very, very long time. I don't watch it anymore at all whatsoever because it's just
I hardly
it just
watch it.
turned into something that's just not for me, basically.
Yeah, I hear you. There's a lot of anime. I'm just not into anime as much as I used to be. It's just like I'm mainly just into video games again at this point.
The only anime I could like kind of somewhat get into was Cowboy Bebop.
Anime back in the day
Before
just
I
had like
tell
a
you
completely
loose, I need
different
one more
like
thing from you.
grit and tone to it that I think is like severely missing. Like I remember watching
Just a
like
formality.
Biosuit Guyver,
Like I expect to find
and it had like that
family
very
history
like
of getting
old
shot in the
school animation type feel, but it was high quality. And it had like a lot of like grit and just kind of like roughness to it that I really enjoyed. Plus it was like super violent. and it was like crazy and over the top and just like holy fucking shit. Same thing with like
All right, I guess
like Devilman. Used to watch that way back in the day. That was crazy and over the top, and it had like that raw grit to it. Cowboy Bebop kind of had that in spades, which I did like Cowboy Bebop. What's another one that I used to watch back in the day? I used to watch oh, what the hell was it called? Oh yeah, Fist of the North Star. That was crazy, freaking wild. I remember the first time I watched that, I'm like, what the hell is this? I see some guy punching some dude. I'm like, okay, like what the hell's gonna happen? And then before you know it, like the dude like swells up like a balloon, like his skull explodes and blood goes everywhere. I was like, holy fucking shit.
Boy, I grew up in one of them vaults they made before the war. We all got one.
I watched a few clips. I watched a few clips of Fist of the North Star recently. I think it was like a month or so ago. And holy shit, dude! Like, I even remember watching the death battle for my wife's, where like Kenshiro versus Jotaro. And dude, like Kenshiro just seems like, oh my god, he's a fucking devil.
Don't
like,
mention
holy shit!
It's what I'm here for.
Like,
smiles before you leave town.
It's like his fucking super. It's like his superpower is like he can hit you in the pressure points. It's like he'll hit you in the most vital areas and make you fucking explode.
And the metal fella Victor
like,
who pulled you out of your
dude.
grave.
Yeah, that's his whole gimmick. Like I haven't watched. Like the last time I watched Fist of the North Star was like in the mid '90s or something, and I know there's like a whole bunch of new shit for it, but I've never watched it. But like the one bit I will never remember or never forget, I should say, is when he's fighting this dude and he hits him, right? But they're punches that don't register, and the guy's like, "You hit me, like that didn't hurt. Like what the hell? Like I'm gonna kill you." And Kenshiro's like, "Oh, you know, you're already dead. Just wait for it." And the guy's like, "What?" And then before you know it, like the dude just explodes, like his torso swells up, his like skull swells up, and he starts getting like all deformed looking, and you're like, what the fuck's going on? And he just like explodes, and I'm like, holy fucking shit.
Yep.
So do you die?
Why do I get the feeling that kind of gets like boring after a while?
You must be the one Doc Mitchell was patching up. The way I heard it,
well,
I didn't think you'd be walking
Kenshiro has never really been defeated. I mean, he kinda has been like on the like very cusp of it.
If you're hurting for
I think in the original series he fought some dude, I can't remember his name.
They're not great,
but he was like a warlord. He was like a warlord, and he had like he looked like a post-apocalyptic general. Is the best way I can explain it. He had like a helmet that had like horns on it, and he's like this big old dude. And him and Kenshiro went back and forth forever, dude, just fighting. And I remember, like, holy fuck, Kenshiro's gonna fucking lose, like, he's gonna die. But then Kenshiro fucking pulls this crazy technique out of fucking nowhere that is, like, so fucking deadly that it's banned, basically. Like, he doesn't like using it because it's, like, it's evil. He doesn't like doing things that, like, incorporate evil into, like, his martial arts style, basically. He just murders this dude. I can't remember. It's been forever since I've seen it. I'd have to go on YouTube and look for it and remember exactly who the hell he was fighting, because I haven't watched Fist of the North Star in like years and years and years. I mean, it's been for fucking ever.
Fist of the Brown Star.
Yeah, I remember.
That sounds like
dude.
I watched that one. I watched that anime.
I remember that was that's the RTU joke right there. Fist of the Brown Star.
Yeah. The anime just had a completely different tone and feel to it back in the day that is really lacking these days. It's just
take it easy now.
Anime today is just it's too polished, it's too clean, it's too pristine, it's too like it's way too sterile. And it's just it lacks a certain atmosphere and like tone that like a lot of the older shit has. I don't know, it's kind of hard to explain.
You ever seen the Castlevania animated series on Netflix?
No.
It's actually pretty good. I'm not into anime at all. But it's really good.
Well, see, that's kind of when I lost interest in Castlevania. Is when once it went on anime. Like after like Super Castlevania 4, they went on like anime with it, with like Symphony of the Night and everything after that now, and I just kind of was like, don't know about this.
So that Castlevania you have that I've been playing was supposedly like one of the last ones that you were like, hell yeah, with Castlevania.
Yeah, because it combined a lot of European mythology with like other creatures like Medusa, and not just Dracula, but like other creatures throughout history and stuff. And then after that game, they just like went real anime with it, because when you look at Simon Belmont, he looks like Conan the Barbarian, and when you look at him next to like all the other protagonists in Castlevania, he stands out like a sore thumb because he's from a different era that Konami was trying to appeal to. And then once Super Castlevania was said and done with, and they moved on to Symphony of the Night, that's when Konami just flipped the switch and they were like, let's just make everything super anime. So that's why Simon Belmont like stands out the most.
I hate people with big eyes.
Oh, there you go.
I hate stilted animation.
Because Simon Belmont's like, because he looks like Conan, he's very Western looking compared to like the rest of the cast. That's why he also stands out.
Alright, I forgot she got a 357 Magnum on her. It's dead, bitch.
Well, it's not like Simon Belmont's running around collecting sushi or something. Like it's, I don't know.
Oh, it's just back then, a lot of Japanese companies to try to get the appeal and the attention of Western gamers, what they would do is, let's say like if the box art in the Japanese version was like super anime looking, they would take the American version box art, try to make it Western fantasy looking. Like for instance, if you look at like a lot of the original Dragon Quest art that came out like on the original Nintendo, Super Nintendo, it has like all of Toriyama's art on it in the Japanese cover art. When you look at the Western version, it was called Dragon Warrior, and it looks like very like medieval Western fantasy, like typical shit basically. And that's what Japan had to do to get Americans to buy their games, because Japan was afraid if they put their anime art style all over everything, on our end, we would look at that and be like, well, what the fuck is this shit? I'm not buying it.
Well, apparently they were right, because once they switched to the art style they're more accustomed to, everybody's like, oh, fuck Castlevania now.
Yeah, Japan loves us. I love Japan.
I mean, I like Dragon Quest. I mean, I like Dragon Quest still to this day. I mean...
I knew you was gonna say that. The fuck happened?
You can watch the duty. You can play with the duty. I'm here to flush the duty.
Also, I need to watch what I'm saying. Also, I'm on fucking YouTube. Jesus Christ. I think everyone does.
My internet crapped itself.
Cancel.
Suddenly I couldn't hear anybody, so I had to disconnect for a second.
Still streaming on YouTube?
Yeah.
Yep. Actually, I actually have to get off because I gotta start getting ready for bed.
I'll get you off later.
Oh my god.
You can. I'll say this live on YouTube.
This stream is going to get taken down.
I'm gonna say this live on YouTube. I want Terrence to cuddle me in bed.
Fuckers
Let's
gonna
go.
get banned fucking YouTube.
It's harder to get banned on YouTube than it is on Twitch.
Hey YouTube, if you're gonna ban him, ban Cosmic Productions. Let's go.
Oh, you fucked up now.
How about you do not ban a Nervous Wreck and boost his numbers instead.
Reverse psychology.
It's actually more difficult to get banned on YouTube than it is on Twitch, because Twitch is like very like PG or like kind of PG-13ish, whatever the fuck. But like you really have to watch what you say on Twitch. YouTube doesn't really care what you say as long as it's not too offensive.
Yeah, I mean, we've been to the RTU streams. Rich is always cussing up a storm. He's watching, like, To Catch a Predator and things like that.
And I'm not making money for YouTube as well, so they carry them less what I'm doing.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, we're just in our own little dark web corner of YouTube right now.
But yeah, it's like I'm just. But yeah, don't ban me, YouTube. Do not ban me.
Yeah, like Twitch will literally ban you for saying the word retarded. It's dumb.
Well, that's retarded.
All right, y'all. I gotta get off. Bye, YouTube. I gotta go to bed. So take care, y'all.
Bye, YouTube.
All right, have fun getting off.
Have a good night, Cosmic.
Let me stuck your asshole.
Oh yeah.
I kind of love it that everyone's just like saying the most obscene things on the street right now.
As soon as I realized we were on YouTube, I was like, oh yes.
Oh, yeah. Oh, fuck, Sheriff up.
I'm over here. I'm just over here watching WWE on Netflix.
Oh.
Watch that. How is it?
It's actually pretty damn good, dude. Their production value shot up drastically. They're actually using drones now with cameras attached to them.
Huh. That's good at least.
And there's not so much censorship anymore because now that they're just on Netflix, they don't have to censor the crowd when they start cussing or chanting some kind of obscenity, whatever the hell.
Yeah, I heard people have been thinking that maybe they'd start returning to a more like Attitude Era-esque feel.
It kind of sort of is, but then again, it kind of isn't. Like, whenever I watched it last week, when Hulk Hogan came out, they were dropping the F-bombs and saying F you Hogan, and they weren't blurring it out or bleeping it out or anything, so.
Damn.
I mean, it's Netflix.
Being despised. That must be a hell of a feeling.
I mean, it's Netflix, not like it's national television. I mean, they don't have to censor the crowd anymore anytime they say something. Like right now, the crowd chanting "You're an asshole" and some other like profane thing. But yeah, there is a little bit more leniency on what they allow, but obviously WWE wants to keep all their sponsors that makes them a shit ton of money.
Yeah.
So they're not going to do they're not going to do anything too crazy that makes their sponsors look at their product and be like, "What the hell is this shit?"
At the very least, hopefully it will be more of like in between.
Well, yeah, that's what it is basically. It's an in between.
Maybe not so safe like the PG era, but also not like, balls to the wall like the fucking Attitude.
Like AEW does.
Yeah.
AEW. Oh look, it's the damn wrestler that puts his hand in his pocket. My little dog pockets.
That dude you sent me the clips of roasted that little kid when she was getting his autograph or whatever the fuck. That was brutal.
Oh yeah, MJF, he's funny.
Cheyenne, stay.
MJF is their #1 heel in the
Don't
company,
worry, she won't
and
bite
now
unless
you
I
know
tell her
why,
to.
because he always stays in character.
Oh yeah, and he knocks it out of the fucking park too.
Yeah, I guess there's a thing or two I could show you. Sounds like you need all the help you can get after what they done to you. Meet me outside, behind the saloon.
I don't like modern wrestling, but I'm hoping having WCW on Netflix paves the way of them getting like some old wrestling from back in the day. Some of their matches, like a little collaboration of all the fucking badass wrestling matches from like the 80s and 90s and shit. That'd be so good.
I want to see the fucking Mankind fucking Hell in a Cell match between him and Undertaker.
Yeah.
It doesn't get any more
Everything
wild
all
than
right?
Yeah. Fucking love that.
That's the right idea. Look
Paul
down the
Bearer.
side. Try crouching down and staying still.
Yeah, I think that WWE has something you can log into
Well, that's
or
a start.
find. I think it's
But
called
I
the
don't reckon you came to me
WWE
to learn to
Vault,
fight sarsaparilla
and
bottoms.
it lets you
Tell you
watch
what,
like a lot of
I
retro
gotta go
stuff.
chase geckos away from our water supply anyway.
Really?
Darn critters are attracted to it. Why don't you come
But I
along?
think this was back in WWF.
Follow me.
Yeah, you
It's
can
just
watch
down to
stuff
the
going all the way
southeast
back
a
to
short ways.
WWF.
Were you a Hogan or Warrior fan back in the day, Terrence? You like either one of those?
I wasn't a big fan, but I kind of liked them.
Ah, I got you.
I like watching him wrestle Andre the Giant and shit.
Ah, yeah. Yeah, I like Andre the Giant. He seemed like a good guy.
Yeah.
And it was fucking entertaining to watch him fucking toss people around ring and shit.
I've got a story about how I even learned what wrestling was. I was in elementary school and it was Valentine's Day. And so, for Valentine's Day, we would all, buy cards for people and trade and stuff. And one of the kids, he was a big wrestling fan. And so he got like wrestling themed cards. And I got a card and it was a Hulk Hogan card. And he said that the reason he gave me the Hulk Hogan is because he's the worst one. And that's how I learned about who Hulk Hogan was.
Really?
Dude, it is
Hear that
insane
up on the
how
ridge
Hulk
behind me there?
Hogan went from being
We got some
like
geckos to clear out.
one of the top
Bunch of little
baby
monsters
faces
is
in the
what they are.
company and like one of
Seems
the most like
Doc Mitchell treats
influential
more gecko
wrestlers.
bites than anything else.
And now he's
Let's see if
like
we
the
can get a little
most
closer.
like hated
If we move quietly,
person in the
we
wrestling
can get the
industry,
jump on 'em.
basically next to
More
Vince
likely to hit
Russo.
something vital that way.
What exactly did
good old
Hulk
Vinny
Hogan
Roo.
do?
Good old fucking Vinny Roo. Jim Cornette's arch nemesis.
Okay, you're on. We're doing hell.
Sorry, by the way. As soon as I heard Vinny Roo, I just had to freak out a little bit.
Well, no, there's reasons why Vince Russo is like deeply hated within wrestling, and they're legitimate reasons. They're not like bullshit reasons.
Yeah.
Like it was Vince Russo's idea to have the Brawl for All thing back like in the mid to late 90s, and what they wanted to do, or what Vince Russo wanted to do, was to get better ratings for WWF at the time. He thought it'd be a good idea to take wrestlers and make them have like actual like legitimate boxing
See?
matches with each
Getting
other,
the hang of it. There's 2
or
more
have
walls that still need
combat
clearing.
sports
If
basically.
you want, you can come along. It'd be
And
worth a few caps to me.
you know, there were a few wrestlers at the
Shouldn't take more than
time
a couple minutes.
that
especially
actually
with the
did
2 of us.
MMA on the
Come with
side,
me.
or like as a second sport. Kim Shamrock was one of them. He was a real tough SOB. And there were a few wrestlers that could do it, but not every single wrestler. So all the wrestlers that partaked in actually doing MMA, well, if they were to fight wrestlers that don't know how to do any kind of combat sports, well, it makes them look like assholes.
I'm taking you down.
But then it also makes them where, well, shit, they can legitimately really injure somebody and end someone's career.
Yeah.
So then what ended up happening is they went through with the plan, and they were trying to call this Brawl for All pay-per-view like a boxing match, which it wasn't. And then what ended up happening is a lot of wrestlers got legitimately hurt because Vince Russo's dumbasses fucking ideas of, oh, let's have the wrestlers actually have boxing matches with each other, and let's let them legitimately hurt each other. What could go wrong? Well, it ended up costing the company millions and millions and millions of dollars, and it ended up ending the careers of like half the wrestlers that were involved in that thing.
Yeah, I remember that was one of the biggest things. Jim Cornette had it out with Vince over that fucking fiasco.
Holy moly. If you hadn't come
And
here,
a lot of wrestlers that ended their careers over and stuff like that, like they're like permanently injured. Like they showed one guy, I can't remember who his name was, but he was bound in a wheelchair.
Jesus
Christ. Yeah, and he can never walk again. And he basically said, yeah, because of Vince Russo's dumbass ideas to have us get into like legitimate fights.
Exciting there at the end.
Like I got injured real bad, and here I am stuck in a damn wheelchair.
I wanted to show you.
And then some wrestlers lost their lives later because the injuries that they sustained were so bad that it shortened their life expectancy, basically.
Gonna want some Xander root and a Brock flower. Let me think now. I know I've seen Brock flowers growing up at the graveyard, and I seem to remember there being Xander root over by the schoolhouse. Bring those on back to me, and we'll get
see,
cooking.
because of that, I mean, Vince Russo's done other shitty things. Like he got flagged one time for trying to do like a miscarriage angle, and that's done in bad taste. And then he got flagged one time because he wanted to do like a necrophilia angle.
Oh,
and what? Yep. You got to keep in mind, this was back in like the Attitude Era of the WWF, and this is when WWF were trying to be like as edgy and raunchy and violent as possible and push the envelope. And the whole reason why they did that was to bury WCW as much as possible, and it worked because when their product became super Jerry Springer and edgy and like over the fucking top, it made people want to watch their show instead of WCW.
I remember seeing fucking Triple H driving tanks up the WCW's headquarters.
It's like, let us in, motherfucker!
You ain't gotta worry about losing the fucking Monday Night War now. You ain't got no fucking building.
It's like I want to take this tank and park it right outside the damn car garage that goes into the damn building. Here you go. You know, I was watching something about Eric Bischoff's recollection of that whole event. He said that now that hindsight being 2020, he said he wished he would have opened up that garage door to let them in just to see what would happen.
Yeah, that would have been fucking good TV. Holy shit.
See the WWF stars just like suddenly show up on WCW television, and they're like legitimately fighting each other. It's like, oh no, no, this is an actual invasion. We're actually fighting. It just erupts into a brawl backstage. Oh man, that would have been great. See Triple H like fight Kevin Nash and shit. And then Sting like comes out of the locker room with like a baseball bat and he's like, bring it on, motherfuckers. Oh man. But I mean, I understand why they ultimately didn't do that though, because like litigation and legal issues and all kinds of complicated BS that could arrive from that. I can see why they didn't do it.
Pussies.
Yeah, basically. Basically. No, I did not want that. I want the horror genre. Thank you. The Deliverance. What the hell is this?
So how was your fist today?
Oh, today? Well, I almost shit myself at the post office.
Let me see what you got. Yeah, these will do just fine.
You gonna record
So,
fine. All right,
So
now.
I'll explain
We're
what
gonna be making
happened,
something
and
folks
y'all
on
would
the
get a
trail
kick
call
out of
healing
this. I
powder.
explain it to
Go on over to that campfire now.
Rick.
Give it a try.
So I bought this
I had to
Hitbox
push that in,
arcade thing.
Sheriff.
I bought this Hitbox arcade thing, right? And after 2 or 3 weeks, it quit working. So I was emailing the
not
company
bad,
back
see?
and forth.
All it takes to make
And they
a
were like,
recipe is
yeah,
the
just
right
send it back
ingredients and
to
the
us
right
and we'll get a
know-how.
replacement. So I finally
Sometimes
got
it
it
won't be
sent
a
off
campfire
today
gear.
because
Might
Friday
need to
and
do some work on
Saturday
your guns and ammo, maybe.
it was snowing like
Important thing to
crazy,
get is
and
it's
I
all
drive
the
a
same
muscle
idea.
car that
You
doesn't
just
have
need to find
four-wheel
the right place to
drive,
set up
so
shop.
trying to drive on like any
Workbench
kind of
or
hazardous
reloading
road
bench,
is a
whatever.
no-go. So
Well,
I
hope
finally
that's
get
enough
the
to get you
box and
started.
everything up there
I'm
to
heading
the
back
post
now.
office. I'm standing
Hope
in
I didn't
line.
miss anything good on the jukebox.
I'm standing there, and
Shane
while
would
I'm
never
getting the
forgive me.
tape
Hey,
and
do
the
me a favor.
box and like all the
Trudy,
shit
she's the
organized,
bartender up at the Prospector.
I have to shit real
Kind
bad
of
all
the
of a
town
sudden.
mom. She
Like
likes to
it
meet
hits me.
newcomers.
Like I'm
She'd be
standing there
cross
and
with
I'm
me if I
like,
didn't ask you to poke your head
oh
in and
fuck.
say hi.
Yeah, they don't have a bathroom in this post office. Well, they do, but it's employee use only, basically. And it's getting to the point to where, like, you know how you have to shit so bad, you start sweating off your back and you tingle? Like, you can feel your back tingling and you're clenching, like, really fucking hard. Keep in mind, I got IBS, too, so, like, any kind of, like, stomach issue that I'm feeling is, like, magnified by, like, 2 to 3 times worse than probably what a normal person's is.
Yeah.
So, I'm trying to hurry up now. And in the event of me trying to hurry up, and like, whatever the hell, I'm not paying attention to what the hell I'm doing, I accidentally taped the label and everything to the box that the product came in instead of the box that I'm shipping it off into.
Oh.
So then what ends up happening is when I take it up front, she's like, where's the postage thing to ship it? I'm like, oh fuck, because all I'm thinking about is I don't want to shit my pants. I don't want to have to drop my drawers right here and shit on your fucking floor. Like, I really need to get to a fucking bathroom as soon as humanly fucking possible. So she's like, it's going to be $20 for the shipping. I'm like, okay, I don't care. Here's the 20. There's no lithium batteries or ion batteries or anything in it. I hit accept on the thing, and I'm like fumbling about with my billfold or my wallet, whatever the fuck. I'm like, give me my thing. I need to go to my car. I need to go down to the McDonald's down the road like as fast as I fucking can before I shit my fucking pants. I run out of there. I'm fumbling the keys. I get it into the ignition. I get to the McDonald's parking lot. I go into the bathroom, and right when my ass hits the toilet, it sounded like Mount St. Helen exploded from my asshole. And it's loud. And I mean,
Did they kick you out of the McDonald's?
I mean, this was loud. It could have been loud enough to where people outside that were eating could have heard it. And after I get done, and when I get done, I look back and I look inside the commode or toilet, whatever the hell.
Glad I finally got to meet you.
And where my ass exploded, it exploded so violently that it's just covered in brown everywhere inside the toilet, basically.
Something we don't want anything to do with. About a week ago, this trader, Ringo, comes into town.
To that poor fucking person. They got to clean all that up.
Needs a place to hide. We figured he was just in shock.
Well, see, normally,
so we gave him a place to lie
if that
low.
happens
we didn't actually
at my
expect
house,
anyone to come after
I clean
him.
my toilet right after because I don't want brown stains like on the rim of the toilet, on the inside of the commode and stuff. Like, I don't want no kind of stains. So normally I clean it.
Some of the
well,
others,
when
like
you use a
Finn,
public
will probably
bathroom, there's
stand
not
up
really a
for
whole
Ringo
lot
if he
you can
asks
do
for
about it.
help,
It's to
which he
just wipe
hasn't.
your ass and go about your
Personally,
day. But
I
I
hope he
was
sneaks
like,
out of
man,
town
to the
one night
next
and takes the
person that
powder
has to
gangers
use
with him.
that stall, I was like, oh fuck.
Not much, other than there were a bunch of freeloaders who expected a few rounds on
So
their
here's
house.
the fucked up thing.
I was able to get
because
them to pay up, though.
of
course, one of
me
the
not
great
paying
cons did knock
attention
my
and not
radio
wanting to
to the
shit my
floor
pants,
by accident.
and because
It
I
hasn't been
put the
working
labels on
since.
this thing wrong, I don't know if I'm actually going to get my replacement like
They were
I'm
having some
supposed
kind of
to.
argument about it, but the guy in the
I mean, if I
code
don't,
kept
it's at the
shushing
end of the
them.
world.
Sounded like they came in
I'd
from the
rather
north of Quarry
be able to
Junction.
get to a
If
toilet
that's the case,
and
I
not
can't
shit
say I
my
blame them
pants,
for not wanting to go
then
back.
be like, oh well, I guess I'm not going to get my thing replaced. I mean, I'll
That
find
whole
out
area
next
is overrun with the kind of critters that just get
next
mad
week
if you
if I
shoot
get a
them.
replacement or not,
Merchants
because it
avoid that whole
takes
stretch of I-15
4
like
days
it's
to
radioactive,
get it to
which
them,
it could be for all I know.
and then they got to go through it, and then they'll ship me a replacement. That
I didn't
takes
hear
another
exactly,
4
but
days.
the leader was talking about the
So
strip.
we'll see.
Fellow wants to get there and avoid the 15. He'd have to go east. Take Highway 93 up.
Well, I would have shit in one of the damn boxes.
Sure, the outside
Post
looks
office.
okay, but I think
The
something
fuck I
broke on
gotta
the
go?
inside. There'd be
You
captions
clean the
for
floor
you.
or throw
I
in the
do like
box.
to hear what's going on in the world.
Whatever.
And that Mr. New
Choice
Vegas
is
seems
yours.
like such a gentleman.
Oh man.
Choice
Be
is
careful
yours.
out there.
I mean, if I don't get a replacement, it's no big deal. There's a better hitbox coming out at the end of March by a company called Arcade Hitbox. I mean, they invented the hitbox. So like if I don't get the replacement, it's no big deal. I'll just drop money on that thing. It's a bit more expensive than I want to pay, but when I've looked at the quality of what this thing is going to be and what it does, I'm like, well, I can see why it's so much money.
Fuck is a hitbox?
It's basically an arcade stick without the stick, and the stick is replaced by up, down, and a left and right button. It's called a leverless arcade stick, even though there's no stick. Or, in other words, hitbox. The reason why it's called a hitbox is because you're hitting the box with your fingers to push buttons, basically.
Feeling thirsty? I can take care of that.
You can look it up
Yeah,
on
I heard it
Google
turned
Image.
right back on after you got
It's
done
not as
tinkering
crazy
with
looking
it.
as you think
Here's
it
some
is.
caps for the work.
Some of them can get pretty wild with the
Not at all. I'm never sure how much is normally
customization,
charged
but
for
I
this
think
sort
at
of
some
thing.
point
Here's some
there's just too
additional
many
caps.
buttons on
That
them.
should be
Like
enough.
people can
Now,
play with those
how about
things with
spending
like
some of
12 to
those caps in
14
the
buttons
saloon?
on them. And to me, that's just too many buttons. Like there's no need to have that many fucking buttons. Like what are you doing?
Be
Like
careful out there.
are you like fucking Tommy Wiseau and like doing some weird shit with damn fucking hitbox? Like okay.
Fucking octopus.
Yeah, exactly. Like, the hitbox that I had, I liked it because I could put my thumb on a button and then use my index fingers.
Put in your ass.
Yeah, well, yeah, there you go. There you go. And then put in your ass. And then I could do the same thing with my left hand. So with my left hand, I could use my thumb and my index fingers, and my right hand, I use my thumb and my index fingers instead of having to like map like one button to do something else.
Who are you?
It was
What do
easy
you
for me
want with
just to do that, but it's I don't know. It's,
Sorry about the gun. You just
hitboxes
caught
are
me
also
off guard,
considered
that's all.
cheating
We got off to a bad
in a lot of
start.
scenarios,
What
even
say
though
we
I don't
start
think they
over with a
are.
friendly
You get
game
an
of
advantage
Caravan?
using them,
You know how to play?
but I don't think it's flat out cheating. Calling it cheating,
Yeah.
I think it's really
He doesn't look very
disingenuous.
tough, though. I hear he's afraid I'll shoot him down from one of the windows when I see him. And he's right.
The majority of
I'll
your
have a
fighting
much bigger
game
problem once his
players
friends show up.
that go to
There's no way I
Evo
can
and like
handle all them in
Capcom
a
Cup and like Tekken Cup and like all these World Cups, most
I'm
of
gonna
them
lay
use
low for as
hitboxes
long as
now.
I can.
So
assuming
it's
the town
become
doesn't
like
throw me
this
to the
universal
wolves.
thing to not even
I've got
use
no
arcade
chance
sticks
against the
anymore.
gang
They're
on my
seen
own.
as like old and archaic and
We
like
just end up
unnecessary
sharing
now.
the same grave if it's just the two of us. Now, if some of the other people in town were also on board. Start
Which
with
for a
Sunny
long time,
Smiles.
when you went to like a
She's
fighting
been
game
friendlier
tournament
than
like
most
Evo or
around here.
Capcom Cup or whatever, they used arcade sticks. They didn't use hitboxes, and in fact, hitboxes at one point were banned for like a couple of years until they were manufactured in a different way to make it to where they could be legal. So there you go.
So they replaced the stick with buttons? Wouldn't that make it even harder?
When you're playing a fighting
Isn't it
game, no,
fighting game?
because yeah, when you're playing a fighting game, it's actually
Hi there.
easier because
Sticking
what
around
ends
Good
up
Springs for a
happening
while longer?
is a stick
Say no more.
is on an
I'm in.
axis, right? So
Joe Cobb
because
talks
of
about getting
that,
us
there's a
loan
lot
if we
of
hand over Ringo.
error
But
for
I know it's
inputs.
tight.
Like
He
if
and
I'm
his friends
doing a
will come
combo
after the
and the
town
combo
eventually.
tells me go right,
However,
right,
between
down,
you and
diagonal,
Reno, we aren't
right,
exactly a force
and
to be
then
reckoned with.
hit the
A lot of people around here
I don't
look
know,
up
like
to
heavy
TV.
punch
If
button
you
at
could
the same
convince Truett
time.
to join us.
Well, because
Some
you're
of the
having to
folks in
depend
town
on the
might
motion
decide
of
to
the
help out as
stick,
well. I know
there's
Lizzie
room
Pete's
for
got a
error.
stock of dynamite
If you're
somewhere.
using
And
buttons,
Chet just got a shipment of leather
for
armor
one,
we
when
could
you hit a
borrow.
button,
Talk to them as well.
it's an instant response.
Finally, there's a good chance
And
we'll
because
all
you're
end up
hitting
with extra holes
buttons,
in us. So
you
if
don't
Doc
have
Mitchell
to
could
rely
cough up
on the
some extra
axis
stim
of
packs,
anything
that'd be great.
to make sure that your inputs are done correctly, because a
I'll be
stick
waiting.
can introduce errors. So when you're just pressing buttons,
Howdy.
you can technically make your combos a lot easier to do. Like, for instance, when you're playing Street Fighter, and this is me talking from personal experience, to do a Shoryuken, you have to go down, you have to go right, down, diagonal, right? And if you're doing that on a stick, there's room for error for that, because let's say, like, if you don't go down at a certain time and go right, or go diagonal with the stick, there's just a lot of margin or room for error, right? Well, if you're using a hitbox, all you gotta do is just take your middle finger, your index finger, and go down right, punch button, and you get like an immediate Shoryuken. You don't have to rely on the inaccuracy of a stick.
Can do.
Well, how can you go diagonally buttons?
You hit down and right at the same time. That's diagonal. And because you're using your 4 fingers, that means you have access to those inputs immediately. You don't have to, like, depend on the axis of a stick and make sure that you're moving the stick a certain way and whatever the hell. Like, it's...
That's a 1,000-cap investment.
That's why in a lot of FGC tournaments, even still to this day, even though the majority of professional fighting game players use hitboxes, there's still the stigma attached to it that you're using something that lets you do combos easier, and it lets you get a one-up on your opponent. Like, even if you're fighting someone that's using like a pad or an arcade stick, and let's say like they're not good at fighting games at all, but you have a hitbox, 8 to 9 times out of 10, you're automatically going to have the advantage, because your combos are just going to be easier to input and do, and those buttons respond to your inputs immediately instead of having to wait for the stick to travel to reach its destination of what you're trying to do. So it's very convenient, but it also turns fighting games kind of into a joke, basically.
Welcome back.
Yeah.
I had hoped you wouldn't need to come see me again so soon. What can I do for you?
Like I said, it's the new thing that's popular in fighting
Seems
games.
like wherever I go, it's always
a lot
the
of
same.
people see
Folks
arcade
that
sticks now as like this
never
old
leave each other
archaic thing
I'm not much good in a
that is
fight
like
with
being
my bow
phased
leg,
out,
and my
which is
supplies
wild
are
to me, because I
scarce,
never
but
thought we
I'll
would see
give
the
you
day
what
where
I
like
can
arcade
spare.
sticks get phased out, because for several years those were used for fighting game tournaments, but ever since hitboxes were introduced, they've been taken over. And what also they're good for 2D platformers. They're also good for if you're playing, let's say like you're playing like a top-down RPG, as long as it doesn't require you to use a right stick, it's good for that too. Yep. Because
So
your
what's going
fingers
on?
have
Did
access
Sonny
to like
agree to
all the
help us?
buttons.
Well, I
So
guess
because
that
you don't
means
have
we're
to
ready
like
to
move
go.
your thumb around,
Unless
or
you
like
think there's
move your
something
index
else you
finger
can
to
do.
triggers, and all the buttons are right there.
Alright,
You can
I'm
just press
ready.
them immediately. It
I
just
hope.
makes.
Time to look
Let's
alive.
say like
The powder gangers are here to play.
let's say like if you're playing like Mario, for example,
At least
a
6.
hitbox would be like
Jacob
excellent for a
included.
game like
They look
Mario,
pretty mean. Oh, Easy Pete came through with the dynamite.
as long
Here's
as
your
it's
supply.
2D Mario.
I
If
really
you're
hope I
playing
don't blow
3D
myself
Mario,
up.
then that's out of the
I'll be set
question.
up
But
near
if
the
you're
store.
playing like
Let's hope that the gang
I
doesn't
don't know,
manage
like
to make
something
it
like
that
Super
far.
Mario Brothers Wonder, or something like that, then or like a Donkey Kong game, then a hitbox is really good for that. But if you're playing something that's like 3D and requires like camera movement and all that shit, then it's not good for stuff like that.
Oh, yeah, you really need a stick for me.
Yeah. Because like when my hitbox did work, I beat Super Castlevania 4 with it, and after I beat it using the hitbox, and I kind of compared it to like using like Super Nintendo controller, I just found it way easier to do things with the hitbox, because button inputs are always going to be faster and more reliable than having to move your thumb around on a D-pad.
I mean, it makes sense because all that travel is such a dead zone between those travels.
Yeah. The only thing that's kind of crazy about it is you got to have like a lot of dexterity in your fingers, because if you don't, it can make using that thing difficult, because there are some people that cannot move their fingers individually. Like for instance, like my friend, he's tried using a hitbox and he can't do it because anytime he tries to like
these are technically
use his fingers independently on his left hand,
understand once I explain.
other fingers will want to move along with whatever he's trying to do.
But I'll be gone in a
He
few
doesn't have
days.
that issue with his
You
right
ever visit New
fingers,
Vegas,
but he
look
has
me
that
up at the
issue with
Crimson
his left
Caravan
fingers.
Camp.
So like you got to have like a lot of dexterity in your fingers too to be able to use it. So it's not for everybody.
Right. Yeah, I got the same problem on my hands too, slightly, but it doesn't fully press. If I press on my pinky down, my index finger, not my index finger, but the finger right next to it will go down slightly. That's just how it is. Always.
Yeah. Like I said, if I don't get the replacement, it's no big deal, because this one that I want to get comes out the end of March. Granted, it's like $50 more than the hitbox that I had, but the quality of it is fucking crazy looking. In fact, I'll get a picture of it and post it in the chat thing. I'll show you what it looks like.
A premium grifter.
Hey, that was a hell of a fight.
Premium
Comes back to talk mad shit.
Can do.
Better run, bitch.
What the hell?
Okay. Punk bitch.
You punk bitch. Okay, so I posted in chat.
Coco?
Yeah, that was Coco.
Okay, I posted in chat, Terrence, what a hitbox looks like. You'll get a better idea of what it is and everything.
Shit. It's a crazy ass fucking layout.
Okay, so how that works is the
Give me a shout if you
the
need
button on
anything
the
else.
far left, on the left side of the hitbox, you put your ring finger on there. Then the button next to it, you put your middle finger, and then the button next to that, you put your index finger, and then the button at the very bottom is where your thumb sits. Then on the right side is where you use all four of your index fingers. And then these little squares that you're seeing, one of those is L3, another one of those is R3, and then another one of those it replicates the touchpad when you press down on it.
Oh. Yeah, I don't think I'll do well on that.